What's up, guys? It's Chachi Power here with Rocket Punch Army, taking a break from the Transformers reviews. Although, Transformers fans, please do not tune out, as this is a review of an awesome combining robot. So you'll see there's three vehicles up here that do combine into this beautiful red robot right here. This here is from the solo Chogokin line. This is the GX-36, which is the 36th robot they've released, although there's different repaints and everything in between. But yeah, so it's pretty early on, but it's still beautiful. And look at the size of my hand compared to this box. As you can see, this thing is going to be gigantic. Here's a little, what do you call it, AA battery. So you can see the box is gigantic. So speaking of the box, we get this beautiful photography here up front. It's, by the way, this is IDEON. I should have just told you his name when I mentioned the GX-36. But it's IDEON. I'm just blown away. So here's the box. And if we turn it around, we see some more photography back here. Now, a lot of you, if you follow my older videos, are probably wondering why the hell I didn't own this already. I just picked this up. I don't have an answer for that. Any good Chogokin collector probably has had this forever, but I've pretty much procrastinated. But here it is, and you know, just like all other Chogokins, this stuff is loaded. This set is loaded with a bunch of different crap. So you'll see all the little vehicles here in the modes. You'll see how they combine here. You can see the robot can sit, stand. He's got the multi-missile thing here, which is not real. It doesn't really shoot a bunch of missiles. It's just one of his defenses in the show. And you get a bunch of these little ships here. I think these little blue ones here, we'll get into it in a second. They're called Godakas or something like that. I've been watching the anime, believe it or not. And yeah, this is him kneeling over when he gets attacked by those little ships. And then the display stand. Okay, and all the other gimmicks here, which we'll get into in just a moment. Alright guys, so I've taken them out of the box. It comes with the styrofoam tray. This is back when they were still doing the whole entire styrofoam thing. It is a big brick right here. But I believe this release is from 2007. Yeah, definitely 2007. It's got this little styrofoam cover, and inside you'll find everything neatly laid out. These two spots are empty because there's a couple of pieces I left on, and as you can see, it doesn't even fit in my review area. So we're going to take a couple of the pieces out and get started. Actually, before I even do that, oh, it's really heavy. I can't stress how heavy. I thought I was going to crack the styrofoam right there. So you get this tray full of all the accessories. So this might be a little longer than expected, this review. You guys want to check everything out. But lots of little tiny pieces. Luckily there is a full color instruction booklet to show you how everything goes together. It seems like there's a little bit of warning, little warning card here. Maybe a little warranty card, not sure what that is. Survey, I don't know. So like I said, full color. You open it up, it gives a little backstory, I believe. I can't read that. And some colorful illustrations in here. Lots of beautiful pictures. And then, of course, the actual instructions, which are, even though they're full color book, they are in black and white. But as with all other Chogokin releases, very well illustrated. The first mecha we're going to start with is the A Mecha. Now all the vehicles have two modes. This is the very first mode I'm going to show you for A Mecha. It is a tank-like mode here. Got a lot of diecast. This whole section right back here, this whole block on both sides is diecast. The front is plastic. The pieces up here are also plastic, but you'll notice the bottom, it's got treads. And it's actually got working treads. They do roll about. And I was a little worried that these might be cracked when I got them, since it is a 2007 figure, and some of the Chogokin are notorious for having bad treads, but these are still intact. So I don't know if the previous owner, since I got this used, maintained this in a whatever temperature controlled environment. But let's see how it holds up at some point. I'll probably update it if anything happens, but for now I'm enjoying it the way it is. As usual, all high-end Chogokins, there's a lot of detail. Even in the diecast. Usually diecast loses a lot of detail, but you'll see it's there. It's got beautiful paint. Here's what it looks like from the back. Even these bars here are diecast, and overall very beautiful. We're going to go ahead and show you the second mode of this. So here is the A Mecha in its alternate form. It's pretty much the same thing, except these back pieces fold out. This little nose cone comes out, as you saw in the transformation. It still retains the treads here, although they're pushed in from the sides. So it's alright. I mean, you know, even though it is a newish figure from 2007, it is based on an old vintage toy and robot anime. So the design might be a little old school, but yeah, that would be the flight mode for this guy. So what we're looking at now is the Mecha. It's this sort of truckish, bulky, multi-wheeled, multicolored vehicle here, which looks like a school bus and a fire truck smashed together. And yeah, it's quite odd, but it's got that whole old school Japanese vibe going. Now the diecast on this is primarily here up front. It's very, very nose heavy. The rest seems like it's plastic. One complaint I do have is this little spine here, which is used to slide these mechanisms back here back and forth, is made out of plastic. You know, with the weight and everything of this and the whole movement, this probably should have been die-cast, but you know, I haven't really heard anybody complain about breakage, so but just be careful with that. And this also has an alternate mode. It's pretty much the same thing here, except it's got little different added features and little parts sticking out. It looks like those parts may be used for exploration or extra weapons, so we're going to go ahead and convert it to that. So alternate mode is pretty much what we saw earlier, just hopped up on crack pretty much. You get the weapons on the side, you get extra treads here, you get this little weird face looking thing there, and then some missile launchers right at the top. So that is the alternate mode for Mecha. And here's the C Mecha. This by far is the heaviest piece of the set. It's like the people at the factory just got together and said, you know what, all that scrap metal in the backyard, just slop it into the legs on this guy. This is super insane heavy. It's really hard to explain heaviness on a video, but trust me, this thing is heavy. And be careful. Don't throw it at someone's head. You might kill them. So again, die cast all this section back here. Like this whole thing is just solid, thick die cast. It's beautifully done. The rest is plastic. The front here of the truck, or whatever you want to call this, is plastic, but it's very nicely detailed. It has some clear yellow lenses. Even the back right here, the little blades here are plastic. That would have been awesome if they were metal, but then that would definitely be considered a weapon. And this section of the back here is die cast also, this black section. I don't know if I had mentioned it earlier. I know I mentioned the treads, but even the little wheels, the tires, have rubber on them, and this has a bunch of little wheels there. Again, like the other ones, this also has an alternate mode. Alright, so here's the flight mode for this one. It's a little more awkward, this one than the others. I don't know if I really have the nose right. I can't really find a way to clip that in. I don't want to force it too much because it is making a sound when I push on it. And the legs aren't pushed in all the way. According to the pictures, and I will show you here, the edge of the leg should meet the swivel joint on the leg here, which it really doesn't on mine. But you guys get the idea. I think the most important thing for me is how it's going to look like in robot mode. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so I've prepared the three parts for combination. You'll see I got the legs already. That's the Mecha C, and then these are the other two Mechas here. You got the little stubby truck one, which folds up very nicely into this compact chest piece. And then we also got the upper arm body with the head. One thing I should note is that this is actually pretty common on the IDEON figures, which is this little crack right where that rivet goes. It's very unfortunate, but it doesn't really seem to affect the tightness of that joint. It's pretty much just as tight as this one, but do be careful. You know, I don't plan on really transforming this much, but that's something to look out for, especially if you're buying them used. I'm assuming even new will have this, you know, just the way it's designed. So be careful. And here's his head. Very Gundam-y because this is from the designer of Gundam, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so these are the three pieces. We're going to go ahead and combine them. The first thing I want to do is move this up so you can see what we're doing. So I got these two little flaps open on the side here. You do need to have them open to put this in here. Right, it's going to go down. Once you've made sure this top section is pushed in all the way, just fold these closed, and that's what actually holds the upper body. Next, you want to grab this piece here. You'll notice at top there's really no space here to push them in. That's because these pieces get pushed in, as you can see with my finger, and this, and then these sides also. You might want to help it along so you don't have to force the arm section. Straighten the arm section out, again being very careful, and then place it on top and push down until it's locked in there. Alright, we're not done yet. We do have to pull the hands out. Now the hands aren't in there. You just grab the little fist or whatever. Bring the elbow up, open this like you would a lot of transforming toys. Spin this around, just like that. You get that little ball joint, and then pop the fist in. Do both. And the unfortunate thing is it doesn't actually fold in with these fists, so you got to pop them off and put them back on. However, if you are the perfect transformation type of person, it does have these little teeny hands, which actually do have the articulated fingers, sort of like a Masterpiece Transformers figure. But they're a little too small for my liking. I like these, which are more accurate. And while we're on the subject of hands, he's got usual booby grabbing hands right here, and then these regular open hands. So we'll check out some articulation. We got the head here on a ball joint. Looks around a little bit limited for what it is, but works. You get the shoulders that go up and down, and you notice they don't want to hold up. And again, it's really tied down to these corners here, which have a little crack in it. Whoops. You do get a ratcheting joint here, which is a spring ratchet. You get the elbow. You get the little bicep swivel. You don't have a waist joint. Move down here to the hips. You get the legs that splay out a little bit this way. You get the thigh swivel here. Legs go forward. And you get these beautiful ratchets right here. Listen to that. That is a very satisfying ratchet. You get the feet here, which are articulated, move up and down. And then there's another feature. You can actually have them sit. Right? This comes down and allows you to have him in the sitting position, as he's shown in a lot of pictures. Now, he is known to be not the most stablest figure, but I haven't really had any issues with him toppling over as long as I balance him before I stand him. And you got to make sure these little things are out. I always forget these. All right. And I love the fact that like his crotch can spin around.